Ooh,
You guys' fingers. I shouldn't say it like that.
true.
Shit. Hey, yo, it's your boy K Stig. I'm joined by my guy Big Moon. It is January 26th. Just got done with with conference championship Monday or Sunday, excuse me.
Sunday.
Sunday, bro. I'm already looking forward to Monday. Ain't that a damn shame? Episode 36, y'all. The big 3-6. That's crazy when you come to think about it. It's crazy when you think about it. But we here. We got a big episode for y'all. Gonna talk some football, man. We got news of all the variety. Get things started off. We had two championship games today. We had the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. Actually had a division rivalry NFC Championship game with the NFC East, if I'm not mistaken. Washington
Right.
Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles in the 1400 or the 2 p.m. slot. And then we had the AFC Championship game with the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs at 5:30. Definitely a tale of two different games, if you ask me. Especially when you look at the surface of the scores and you just look at the scores, totally two different games. But we're gonna dive into it. Commanders and Eagles. It was a good game in like the first, quarter and a half, for the most part, but by the end of the game, it was terrible. The final was 55-23. Eagles came out on top. The Commanders turned the ball over 3 times. You're not going to win a game if you're turning the ball over 3 times, unless you're the Detroit Lions, who can throw 5 interceptions and still beat the Houston Texans. Yes, that still hurts. But I don't know what you got to say, brother. I'm over here hogging the spotlight. What you got?
I know. No, but no, for sure. Congratulations to the Eagles getting to their second Super Bowl in the last 3 years, for sure. Like you said, it was an NFC East battle. I mean, the winner was going to get the right to play to Super Bowl 59,
Is
and
that what
so
it is?
yeah,
Yeah, Super Bowl 59. Yeah.
so the Eagles punched their ticket to play in the big game. I didn't watch the game. I fell asleep, but I just finished watching highlights, and yeah, from what I've seen, the first 2 quarters or so where it was competitive, but like Kyle said, turnovers will plague a team, and that's where the Commanders fell short. But congrats to them too for their season. I mean, they were dumpster trash last year. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like they found a quarterback with Jaden Daniels, which he had also had a good game from what he Cakes they told me and what I've seen on the highlights. But yeah, I mean, to get to the NFC Championship game with a rookie, good things are coming. I mean, what they do next year, that's that's to see. But yeah, fly Eagles, fly.
Shit. Yeah, nah, to piggyback off of that, I definitely think it's if you're a Commanders fan, you can't be disappointed with. I mean, you could be disappointed with the loss, obviously you are, but when you look at it as an overview, it was definitely a successful season. Your franchise was a dumpster fire. You didn't have a quarterback. You had no idea what the direction was going to be, and then it looks like y'all struck gold with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had, I mean, we were talking about C.J. Stroud having the greatest NFL or the greatest rookie year for an NFL quarterback. Jaden Daniels may have just one-upped him, or he probably did just one-up him. You're no doubt looking at the offensive rookie of the year in Jaden Daniels. In my eyes, he definitely had a hell of a year. So, Commanders, y'all got yourselves one, and now it's nothing but. This game was nothing but experience. This playoff run was nothing but experience, and it's great that y'all got Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract. Now y'all can build around him, add some more pieces, and go make another run at it. So, definitely kudos to them. For the Eagles, I got to give y'all credit because y'all had some drama towards the middle of the year into the end of the year. No one really knew how y'all were going to be at the start of the year with Jason Kelsey retiring. There was kind of a question mark, I believe, at the center position. Y'all had a good offensive line still, but I think some people didn't realize. I guess some people didn't think y'all were going to be able to, replace Jason Kelsey, which is understandably so. He's arguably the best center in NFL history. So, but y'all definitely deserve a shout out and definitely a round of applause for y'all because y'all are back in it. Like Moon said, what is this, y'all's second appearance in 3 years in the Super Bowl? Yeah.
They
So,
went from booing their head coach to loving their head coach again. Gotta love
yeah.
Philly. Gotta love
Gotta
Philly.
love Philly, man. City of brotherly love. In the 5:30 slate, we had the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas
versus the
City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
This game was a close game. I mean, and like a lot of people thought it would be, it'd be a close game. Final was 32-29. Chiefs came out with the win, so they're on their way back to the Super Bowl for the third time in 4 years. So the third for the last 3 years in a row they've been in the Super Bowl, and they're facing the Eagles, which is a rematch of Super Bowl 57, where the Chiefs came out on top of that game. So it's got ourselves an interesting, we got the NFL loves to drive its storylines, so we definitely got some storylines out there. But it was a good game. Kudos to the Bills coming in and fighting as best as they can. I definitely feel like there were some questionable calls, as does, I'm pretty sure, the majority of the NFL fans, minus Kansas City fans.
Yep.
It was a good game. I will give Kansas City its credit. They did capitalize on their on plays, and I mean they put up 32. You don't just do that in every single game. So Kansas City, shout out to y'all. Buffalo, y'all had a great year, especially after trading Stephon Diggs to us, Houston, in the offseason. No one really knew what was going to happen with the Buffalo Bills. I'm assuming, no one had a whole lot of expectations except for Bills Mafia and the Bills fan base, and obviously the franchise itself. But they put together a 13-4 year and found themselves in the AFC Championship game again. So in my eyes, that's that's pretty damn good, considering, or all things considered. What you got to
I just feel sorry for the Buffalo Bills, man. Like you said, it's probably the third out of three that they meet in the championship, and it's been a loss for Josh Allen. I mean, like I said, shout out to Buffalo for a
I
good
think he's
season.
0-4 now, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. That's
okay. I mean, but the Kansas City Chiefs are 8-0 in last postseasons. So, but yeah, Kansas City third time in 5 years that they go to the Super Bowl. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, bro. Like I was telling you earlier, though, it's funny to me. Like every time, like the refs, you knew the refs gave them a call automatically. Taylor Swift. So for the Kansas City Chiefs to lose and for Philly to win, we got to stop Taylor Swift at all costs. At all costs.
what you're trying to say. Then
But I mean,
her flight needs to get delayed on its way into New Orleans.
she needs to just stay home or something. I don't know.
That ain't gonna happen. The NFL is probably paying for her ticket. Come on now.
She already has a reserve booth and everything. You're
She
right.
got a reserve suite and everything, probably right next to the announcer's booth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But
Come
no,
on now.
like you said though, Kansas City did capitalize in certain plays. I mean, I thought the change of the game was I think it was a huge punt return by Kansas City that got it back to the Buffalo side of the field, and I was like, yeah,
I think that was
that's pretty much
that was in the first half, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? Because
think
I remember Kansas City scoring, and then literally I got up, walked away, went and did something, came back, and they had the ball again, and it was already on Buffalo's side of the 50, and I'm like, how the fuck did y'all get the ball back already? So
yeah.
it might have had something to do with that, but yeah, I mean, it was
Kansas City. It was a Kansas City game.
It was a Kansas City game.
But it's cool though. But it's a Super Bowl 57 rematch. Like I said, I'm going for the Eagles, mostly because Jalen Hurts is from Houston, Channel View, from other people at Baytown. But do it for the H, man. Take down the Giants, because I can't do it if they get 3. Can't do it.
I can't do it because I'll have to listen to it. We'll have to listen to it all off season long. The Chiefs are three-peating. Chiefs three-peat. Patrick Mahomes the GOAT. Three-peat Chiefs. I won't hear the end. We won't hear the end of it as NFL fans. I mean, if they do, great. Kudos to them. But at the same time, it's like,
a little history fact too, though. I think they're the 8th team to win back-to-back and going for a three-peat. Out of before today, all teams have lost in the conference championship game and then make the Super Bowl to get a three-peat. So history for Kansas City. Yep,
they're the first team to
at
do
least
it. Yep.
to get an attempt at it.
So shout out to DeAndre Hopkins, former Houston Texans player, making his first Super Bowl. congratulations to you. Fuck the rest of your team. I hope you lose in the Super Bowl because that means y'all don't three-peat. But I mean, I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is.
Super Bowl February 9th.
February 9th, 2 days before my birthday. 2 days before my birthday. So, but in any case, you got anything else to add before we move on, brother?
Fly, Eagles, fly. That's it. Yeah, do
All
it
right.
like Napoleon Dynamite. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Do it like Napoleon Dynamite. Moving on, y'all. All right, so we're moving on from the conference championships. This news is strictly Houston fans. This broke out, 2 days ago now? What was it?
2
2 days
days.
ago?
2 days.
Couple days. Houston Texans fans, we got what we wanted. Bobby Slowik has been relieved of his post, has been fired as offensive coordinator, is no longer with the Houston Texans. It had to happen. I mean, he had last year was his first real opportunity, or last year was his first opportunity as an offensive coordinator. He wasn't even a coordinator before that. He was a passing game of, I don't even know. He was a passing
coordinator.
Game coordinator or something like that. I don't even know what that is. But DeMeco Ryans brought him over from San Francisco, gave him his big break, made him an offensive coordinator. Had a solid year last year. We're, middle to top middle of the pack in just about everything. This year, though, their teams it wasn't the same. Teams figured out how to get to CJ based off of just pressure alone. They figured out blocking assignments. And Slowik didn't make any halftime adjustments or anything, so it just made it easy for teams to reel their peel the ears back and rush the quarterback. And it was evident CJ was pressured, I think, like 70% of the season. He needed to go. Joining him in the unemployment line is the offensive line and assistant offensive line coach. They were all let go, like I stated before, due to offensive line play. So I'm happy with it due to the fact that it's showing that the Texans previous regimes, they would be loyal to their coaches and keep them. I'm liking this because it's stating the fact that it's like, look, you know what? We got the defense. We've got a rookie quarterback who is our face of our franchise. We want to protect him, but case in point, we're going for this. We're trying to be what Buffalo was, or what Buffalo is, what Kansas City, what the Eagles, what the Commanders achieved this year. They want to be those teams that are not just making it to the divisional round and basically being the top 8 team, or being a top 8 team. They want to go, and in order to do that, they need an offense. In order to do that, they need better play calling, better offensive scheming, and being able to make in-game adjustments and halftime adjustments, and that just wasn't a thing. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with or not necessarily the aggression, but the what's the word I'm looking for here?
I call it just a good start off for what needs to happen during the offseason for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a good start on the cool.
Sense of urgency. That's what I was looking for. Sorry to cut you off. Sense of urgency.
Yeah. I mean, like you said though, the Texans are putting all their chips in. I mean, we honestly had a team this year that could have got us to the AFC Championship if it wasn't for injuries and just bad play at certain aspects against the good teams of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, with Bobby, it was cool. Like I said, it was a good first year because sadly, the last couple of years before we got DeMeco, it was just dumpster garbage offense play. So when we went 9-7 with DeMeco the first year, we were excited about the offense, but it doesn't even look like everybody always said that Bobby never made halftime adjustments, and I don't think he made a second year adjustment. Like you said, people started knowing their play calls or knowing blocking assignments, and Bobby just stuck with the same old thing, and it just plagued to him being released. But it's cool. Now we get to look at a new offensive coordinator who at least for me, in-house, if we do in-house, I think Gerard Johnson would be a top candidate. But a lot of people are liking Chip Kelly from Ohio State. People like Clint Kubiak, but you told me he had signed with the Seahawks.
Yeah, he just signed. I think that actually happened today. He signed with the Seattle Seahawks, so they picked him up. I'm a chime in real quick if you don't mind. Personally,
Go
I
ahead.
hope they don't stay in house. I don't think you're going to find your answer in house. If you want to see a drastic change in offense, you need to go get somebody who not only has experience running an offense, but also has experience play calling an offense. So
I
that's
agree.
that.
I totally
That's
agree.
my personal opinion. Yes, if they were to stay in house, I think Gerard Johnson would be the logical candidate, but they don't need to stay in house. So of the, you said Chip Kelly, that he seems like he would be the better fit. He's coming off of the national title win with Ohio State as their offensive coordinator. He's got the ties to DeMeco Ryans as he was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles when DeMeco got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. So there's that tie right there. If you want to go into it a little bit further, he was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. CJ's an alum of Ohio State. I mean, there's a bunch of different things you could do, but he knows how to call an offense. He knows how to run an offense. So I'd be okay with that. Um, I don't know of any other names that have been mentioned. I did know Clint Kubiak was one of them, but I mean, in my humble opinion, it doesn't need to be in house.
Right. Like I said, I agree. I'm just saying if they did go in house, that was my favorite candidate. I think they also were looking at Rams pass game coordinator Nick Culley or something like that. Nick Culley for the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know
You,
that guy,
you got,
but yeah. But I mean, the big factor of why people want Chip Kelly or why they want the Texans to pursue Chip Kelly is because, like you said, he knows how to run the offense. He commands a lot from his quarterback in those offenses, and
mm-hmm.
using their feet. CJ has expressed that he wants to do that more. He likes to run an up tempo offense. And like you said, he had a shot in the NFL. He was the Eagles head coach. Before the Eagles, he was Oregon's head coach with Marcus Mariota. So I mean, he has experience. I mean, his offense. Looking at Ohio State, shout out to Ohio State, by the way. Like, I'm not into it, but I wouldn't mind. But I would definitely want to see other candidates just to see who
Mm-hmm.
we're exploring for sure.
And I don't rush it either. Find the right candidate that suits you, but at the same time, you got to be mindful that other coaches are trying to fill out their staff as well. For prime example, the Chicago Bears. Shout out to the Bears. They got themselves, I think, a good candidate in Ben Campbell, who was the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. They hired him as as their head coach earlier this week. So kudos to them. But he named, and I apologize if I butcher his name wrong, Declan Doyle as his offensive coordinator, and the previous New Orleans Saints head coach, Dennis Allen, as his defensive coordinator. So, we're not even technically over through the season yet or finished with the season yet. So I think, take your time finding the right guy, but also keep in mind that other
Teams are
teams are
hunting.
going to be, other teams are hunting as well. I think on the Chip Kelly bandwagon, the Jaguars are looking at him, and so are there's somebody. Oh, the Bucks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers were also looking at him, if I remember
Yeah, they
reading
lost
that
their offensive
earlier. So
coordinator too.
yeah,
Oh, he
for
went to the
offensive
Jackson.
coordinator as well. So it's there's other teams looking, so be mindful of that as well. So you got anything else you want to add, big guy?
I mean, but it's a good start. I mean, like at the end of the day, we still have a whole bunch of things that this offseason the
Oh,
Texans have to do. The next thing is the free agents. I think we have like 25 players that
mm,
some of them are going to ask for some money, some are going to stay, some are going to go. We'll
got to
see what
find out who you're
happens.
going to keep and who you're not going to keep. But you're saying the same free agents. You need to find something to do with that offensive line. An offensive coordinator is just one side of that coin.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep the same personnel for that offensive line. I'm
No,
sorry. I mean, Laramie
some got to go.
Tunsil, okay. Titus Howard at right tackle, okay. You need to figure out what you're going to do with the interior of that O line. Guard to guard was atrocious. That guard to guard play. And I mean, Jarrett Patterson was okay at center, but my thing is
It
this:
wasn't the best.
he wasn't the best. If you can find, if you can find somebody who's better than him, then you need to plug him in there, whether it's Scruggs or somebody else. I know Scruggs was plagued with an injury, a foot injury towards the end of the year, but you need to do something with both guards. And if you can get an upgraded center, then get an upgraded center. But
Yep.
so, I mean, that's another position. It was a position of strength starting the year, but wide receiver. And we just got decimated with injuries. And we're talking strictly on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, I think we're okay. We just got hit with injuries, primarily at safety, with both Jalen Petrie and Jimmy Ward getting hurt. Christian Harris was in and out with that leg injury. I think defensively we're okay. Maybe you go out and get a slot corner or another corner that you could pair up with Stingley and Lassiter. But on the defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball, they need to address the interior O-line. If anything, I think you need to go get another running back, because I don't know if Dameon Pierce is going to stay with the team. We may end up trading him. And then receiver-wise, I still think you re-sign Steph, and I think you go after T. Higgins, bro. I mean, I love Tank, but Tank's not coming back this year. So the earliest he would be able to come back would be 2026. And there's no guarantee that A, he'll come back, and B, he'll come back and be as explosive as he was. So I just want everyone to realize that. Like, his injury was messed up. He's going to need multiple surgeries just to repair all the damage that was done. So there's no guarantee that he'll even come back. And if he comes back, he'll come back with the same explosion. If he does, great. I'd love to have Tank back. He's one of my favorite players on the team. But realistically, they need to go after. I would like to see them re-sign Steph. I'd like to see them try and take a stab at T. Higgins, bro. Pairing him.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say pairing him up. He's another big-bodied receiver to pair up with Nico, and then having Steph in the slot. That could be a dynamic receiving room for a couple of years. And then if Tank does come back, that just adds another layer to that receiving room. But go ahead, what you got?
I mean, to me, it's just I would definitely love to see Stephon come back if he can. I mean, it's gonna be all about money for sure.
Hands down.
You say T. Higgins, I had told you earlier in the season, I don't mind going after Garrett Wilson from the Jets as well.
Okay, yeah.
I do agree that we need to find two receivers this offseason for next season for sure. With Tank being out, like you said, with the injuries that he has to come back from, you're gonna have to find somebody long term, because even if we do sign things back, it's probably only gonna be for 1 year, and then after that, we're gonna have to move on. So we need to add some youth.
I can low-key see a 2-year deal for Steph. 2 year, I don't know, 20, 30 million, something like that. I could see that.
I'll give him 22.
Fair enough.
But I mean, all that plays off. That's all
between him, Nick, and the salary cap. So, and that's even if he wants to come back. Maybe he wants to go elsewhere.
For sure, because of his age, he wants to go to a contender. I'd be surprised if he goes to if Hopkins wins a Super Bowl, Stephon Diggs will be in the Kansas City Chiefs next year on the roster.
That's crazy. Don't do that. That's crazy. You got anything else you want to add, Big?
Definitely attack offensive line. Some guys.
O-line definitely. The O-line definitely needs to be addressed. If anything, both guards need to be addressed. If you're going to you can get away with your center, but both right and left guard need to be addressed, because that play was from both positions was atrocious. So, but
definitely when you mentioned running backs, either they're going to have to figure out if they're going to use Dameon Pierce more next season, or find somebody else, because we can't depend on Joe to.
You just can't keep giving it to Joe to tote. I mean, Joe was amazing for us, but I mean, you need another back, a younger back who has a little bit more speed than Dameon. I love Dameon as a power back, but the way that the current offense was set up, and this is based off of Slowik's offense. Maybe the next offensive coordinator comes in and changes up the entire scheme and what he wants to do, and Dameon will be better with that. But based off of the current offensive scheme, Dameon's not set up for that. You need a back who can get outside, and not who can run between the tackles but can get outside of the tackles. So, and then another position that we need to think about, or at least talk about, tight end. Dalton Schultz had a great first year with us. He regressed insanely this past year. Now, is that we didn't target him as much, or he just wasn't. The play calling wasn't good enough. I do know this. Someone needs to teach him some fucking technique, because his blocking was atrocious this year. So, But
it just depends on Brevin. Was it
Brevin
Jordan?
Brevin Jordan was more of your speed tight end, more of your vertical threat tight end. He wasn't your inline blocking tight end. That was Cade Stover, who was your inline blocking tight end. So, in any case, you got anything else you want to add, brother?
No, that's it for me.
That's it. All right, man.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Okay.
Fly, Eagles, fly, as he says. Y'all, we appreciate the love and support as always. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell us you hate us. Tell us you love us. Ask what give us some love. Tell us what you would like to hear us talk more about. Come on now. We're, criticism, no matter what. We want to hear it. We love y'all.
We're here to please you. Okay? We're here to please you.
Yeah, we're here to please you. As my coworker would say, I just want to see you win. I almost fell out of my chair when he said that to somebody. But I just want to see you win, dog. But with that being said, y'all, stay safe. Have a great week. We love y'all. Talk to y'all next time.
Love and peace, baby.
Jesus.